Hi, I'm Lucy, but my poetic name is Loose Change. Yeah, I know, witty stuff. I'm originally from Barbados. I moved to Birmingham about 3 years ago. It's crazy that I think it was 3 years ago. I moved over because I got into the Birmingham School of Acting on the foundation course. And then I continued to stay here because I got offered a place on the applied performance course. So now I live down in Selly Oak, and it's nice. Like, I really enjoy it. And I really love it. But about 7 months ago, I always used to be a closet poet back home. Like, at home, I would go home and I would write like a little line and put it in my box or my pocket or whatever. And like, I really enjoyed writing poetry. And I'd been introduced to spoken word poetry before, but I never was quite brave enough to do it. And then April this year, on April the 7th, because my phone says, I found this place where they do poetry jam, which is with Beatfreeks, and I went, and I literally folded up my first spoken word poem, and I had it in my back pocket, and I unwrapped it and I performed it in front of people, and they really liked it. And that was I guess maybe you could say my first. Oh no, I had written a piece for my mom and dad for the anniversary because they only got married recently, but that was it. Yeah, so that would have been my introduction.
So what do you think of Birmingham's poetry scene?
I love it. I love it. I think it deserves a lot more credit than it gets, because since I've been a part of it and I've seen it grow. Like, for example, the poetry jam or soul sessions or love and lyrics or any of these, like, they're underground works, but at the same time, if you go to them, like, you see these amazing poets, and you see they've got so much passion, they've got words, and they've got what they want to say, and like, it's an expression that comes with their accent as well, because I think the Birmingham accent is one of the most expressive accents. But yeah, so I really think it deserves more credit than it's getting, and it also deserves more. Like, if more people knew about it, undoubtedly more people would come. And it's interesting because, for example, back at uni, if I mention I'm going to Poetry Jam, like, it keeps getting bigger and bigger. Every month I'm going, like, a new crowd of people are coming and new faces all the time, and it's great to see. So I ramble a lot.
So what inspires you to write poetry?
I guess this is gonna sound really weird. I don't really see the world in pictures as such. I see the world in words. So if something happens that really connects with me or really makes me feel quite sensitive about, I can put it into words quite quickly, and then I write it down, and that way I always have that moment with me forever. And I get, like, that's the reason why I started writing poetry in the first place. And then as I've gotten older and I've been introduced to social issues, or more aware of social issues, I should say, or any stories. Like, I love storytelling. I'm a fanatic when it comes to stories. So I love to tell stories in poetry as well. And sometimes my stories will have social motivation inside of it, or a political message attached to it, because some of the things I think need to be said, people aren't represented. Certain people aren't represented in certain ways. And sometimes I think it's the responsibility of an artist to represent those people, and the craft of that I choose to be responsible in is poetry. So I guess that's where you could say my motivation comes from. Yeah.
So we'll see you at the next Poetry Jam?
Always. Absolutely. Like, not a doubt.